One exhibit reaches more than 1,000 visitors a day. Another produces the strongest one-week recall. A third generates the most visitor participation. Seventh graders must recommend just one of them. But every impressive number arrives with a question it cannot answer on its own. As committees advising the fictional Riverside County Museum on its new Words That Matter exhibition, students face a real-world standard. They have to build an airtight argument from rigorous evidence. Selecting the right exhibit means dismantling initial assumptions and looking past the sheer scale of the metrics to find verifiable truth. To keep the evaluation process fair, students take on stable roles: the discussion leader, the evidence tracker, the devil's advocate, and the recorder. These assignments protect the evidence and keep personality out of the driver's seat. Before a single class poll goes up on the public board, every single student independently records their private position. The devil's advocate has a strict job. They must argue from documented facts, stripping the social friction away from healthy disagreement. This structure guarantees that collaboration does not erase individual accountability. It makes hiding behind group consensus impossible. The evaluation begins with a counterbalanced gallery walk, letting students experience the concepts for going viral, the long read, and stage and screen. This diagram traces the evaluation paths. By rotating the starting stations for each committee, the curriculum exposes order bias. Students directly observe how the sequence of information shapes their own perception. Next come the expert memos. Instead of taking an impressive job title at face value, students must match each expert to the specific claim their background qualifies them to make. Rigorous analysis demands testing the strict bounds of a source's authority. Right in the middle of the project, a pilot data drop arrives. Suddenly, quantitative evidence pressures the committee's initial assumptions. This graphic highlights the flagship metric for the Going Viral proposal. It boasts 1.8 million daily views. But look at the denominator. The actual source click-through rate is a fraction of a percent. Students learn to qualify an impressive statistic like this, rather than worshiping it as a victory or discarding it entirely. A giant number without a denominator only measures scale. It tells you nothing about depth or actual learning. The data audit continues by tackling how the exact same numbers can tell completely different stories depending on the headline. This chart shows a pilot test of 300 visitors. Framed positively, 68% recalled at least one key idea. Attention goes straight to success. Flip the frame, and 32% recalled none. Attention shifts entirely to failure, even though the dataset hasn't changed. The assignment here is to draft a neutral headline, one that mathematically preserves both sides of the outcome and includes the true sample size. True data literacy means separating the raw objective evidence from the narrative built around it. With the board deadline looming, the committees have to synthesize conflicting priorities: learning potential against reach, participation against sustainability. Their final output is a 400 to 500 word board recommendation that requires hard citations and a fair counterargument. Crucially, unanimous agreement is not required. A well-documented 3-to-1 vote with a preserved, evidence-backed minority opinion is far superior to a forced, artificial consensus. Intellectual rigor happens when a student can respectfully disagree with the majority using a verifiable trail of facts. Once the choice is made, an outcome card reveals a specific operational pressure point for the selected exhibit. There is no universal answer key here, only targeted revision. The entire 11-period simulation comes fully supported. Teachers get complete guides, secure data releases, a launch-safe workbook, and a detailed assessment tracker. It is a ready-to-launch ELA performance task that makes standard-aligned reading, data analysis, and argumentation completely visible. Bring the museum into your classroom. Explore it at patientlearning.com.